morning. Welcome to CoreTV News for the hour. I am Gete. The presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress, Muhammadu Buhari, is back to the country from the United Kingdom after a 2-week break from the campaign trail. The APC flag bearer arrived at Abuja at about 5:40 a.m. and declared that he was physically and mentally fit to continue soliciting votes of Nigerians in March 28 presidential elections. Buhari, who was accompanied by his Deputy Campaign Director General, Senator Olorunnibe Mamora, told journalists that he took some time off the campaign to get some rest. Details in this report.
It's just before dawn on Friday, but a small crowd of people had gathered here as early as possible in anticipation of the arrival of the APC presidential candidates. Also in the crowd were journalists who had been on vigil at the airport as soon as news filtered out about the impending arrival of General Buhari. The British Airways flight touched down just after 5 a.m. and after a few minutes of formalities, the APC presidential candidate strolled out accompanied by close aides, including Senator Olorunnibe Mamora. This is the first local sighting of Buhari in 2 weeks, and journalists were prepared to get as much information out of him on his health status.
Well, I just went home for a couple of weeks to rest. That's what I did.
He also did not deny claims that he was in a hospital, but insists that he is fit.
What's wrong for me go to hospital? Am I not here now? Aren't you seeing me? Very young. Have you seen a sick man?
Buhari did not even think that his 2-week absence will have any effect on his party's campaign. This, according to him, is because APC is not a one-man show.
One man doesn't make a party. A party, don't forget that we are a number of opposition parties that come together from APC. So no one man is the party. This party belongs to all the parties that come together. Okay.
And now that the APC candidate is back in the country, he says he cannot wait to return to the field to spearhead the change movement.
Cassava farmers in Abuja have endorsed President Goodluck Jonathan for the March 28 presidential elections. The farmers who held a solidarity rally to show their support for the president also expressed confidence in the leadership style of President Jonathan, especially in the area of fertilizer supply. By Samuel again has more.
This is the first time cassava farmers are coming out in their numbers to express support for any of the presidential candidates. They say President Jonathan has done more for farmers than any other government led by the People's Democratic Party. This group of farmers have consequently resolved to sustain the advantages they are enjoying under the Jonathan administration by backing him for a second term. Now, to ensure the success of their initiative, they mobilized their members across Abuja in a show of support for the president.
Cassava farmers are nothing, to write about. We see our hands when we open our legs. We see wounds to show that we are suffering, and then farming, with ordinary hoes and cutlass. But today, a lot have been provided. Tractors, things, mechanized farming. Now we are in.
Some of them came from as far as Abaji and other farming communities in the FCT. For this man, he is happy leaving his farming business for a day to show love for President Jonathan.
Well, we are here to show up support for the re-election of President Goodluck Jonathan. Somebody asked me, what has he done to be re-elected? And I asked, what has he not done to be re-elected? The man has done so much. He has touched almost all facets of our national life. The agricultural sector, the power sector, the transportation sector, so he deserves to be re-elected. And a lot of people have this wrong impression that when you see groups gathered like this, they are being sponsored by the government in power. The answer is no. We came here because we have seen what he has done, and we know if he's given the opportunity, he will do more.
As the election approaches, members of the group say they will work for the success of the president's re-election bid. Some of them argued that there is no better time to support the president than now.
For the first time in the history of farmers, a local peasant farmer can boast of getting fertilizers at very cheap subsidized rates without going through the middlemen. who were turning it into a racketeering business. I have been a beneficiary of that, where you can get a bag of fertilizer for 2007. And also the government has made inputs very, very much available at very subsidized rates to farmers. So today we have increased productivity in our farms.
And now that the Cassava Farmers Association is supporting President Jonathan, they say they cannot wait to cast their vote for the PDP come March 28. Pius Samuel, CoreTV News, Abuja.
The Bini Traditional Council says the Oba of Bini, Eredwawa, has not endorsed any candidate or political party for any elective position in the forthcoming general elections. The council made this known while briefing journalists in the palace of the Oba on issues surrounding political activities in the state. Some palace chiefs had earlier been reported to have made claims and counterclaims over the endorsement of some candidates, including President Goodluck Jonathan and Muhammadu Buhari on behalf of the Oba. While reading a communique on the issue, the Iyase of Benin, Sam Igbe, the council noted that Uko Akpolokpolo Oba of Benin has never mandated any of his chiefs to speak or make any political statement on his behalf, especially to the choice of a political leader for favor in the forthcoming election. It further stated that it has become worrisome to the Oba Palace that a previous statement made by the monarch during the visit of the Crown Prince and Edia King and Uselu to President Jonathan several months ago has been unscrupulously used in the media by overzealous politicians to whip up sentiments for the party, especially in Edo South Senatorial District. It restated that the Oba regarded all politicians under his kingdom as his subjects and prayed to the Almighty God and the ancestors to provide good leaders who were interested in the welfare of the people through the provision of security, basic infrastructure and employment for the unemployed citizens. The Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Mohammed Adoke, has denied funding anti-election lawsuits. The AGF made this known in a statement in Abuja on Friday by his senior special advisor, Peter Akpe, faulted an article published in an online medium that he is secretly funding anti-election suit through his corners. The statement says that the article sought to portray the Attorney General as a person actively using other people, named and unnamed, to scuttle the forthcoming elections through the filing of frivolous suits. The AGF's aide said after reading the article, he initially dismissed it as a mere tale emanating from the fertile imagination. According to him, his relationship with Adoke shows that the minister cannot be associated with such lawsuits. Akwe said Adoke is one public officer that has the moral conviction and courage to speak the truth at all times in the defense of national interest, no matter whose ox as God. He said the position of the office of the Attorney General is a position of public trust. The People's Democratic Party says Lagos residents should be protesting against former Governor Bola Tinubu rather than joining the Solidarity March called by the All Progressives Congress in support of its national leader. This, it says, is because they deserve to know how the APC-led leader acquired the property and assets outlined in a recent documentary aired on a private television station. Spokesman for PDP's presidential campaign team, Femi Fani-Kayode, made the call at a news conference in Abuja ahead of a planned rally to drum up support for Tinubu. He also claimed that the opposition party has mobilized youths with 10,000 naira each to show their support for the former Lagos State governor. A Lagos State High Court sitting in Ikeja has granted the prayers of the national leader of the All Progressives Congress, Bola Tinubu, for an accelerated hearing of the case he filed against AIT. The court has fixed March 16th for the hearing of the suit. Tinubu's team of lawyers, led by Wole Olanikpekon, are seeking an order restraining AIT from producing or continuing to broadcast a documentary they claim as defamatory pending the determination of the suit. The documentary was first aired on March 1st and has continually been aired on a daily basis since then. It's CoreTV News on the Hour. We'll take a break. Stay with us.
From time immemorial, women have birthed life, shaped character, and by extension, influenced the society. Moremi of Ife, Emoten of Benin, Queen Aminat of Zaria, all women of influence and power.
Whether it's before election, after election.
How ironical, women being so powerful yet have few grounds in decision making.
I see you as a wife, and I see you as a wife to a man.
We are talking women in politics.
A woman will be bold enough to stand up and say, I want to become president of Nigeria.
Only on CoreTV News.
Welcome back. Do not forget that you can catch us on our social media platforms on Facebook, facebook.com/CoreTV News. On Twitter at CoreTV News NG. And on YouTube at youtube.com/CoreTV Space News. In continuation of his re-election bid, Kwara State Governor Abdul Fattah Ahmed has been meeting with various groups to solicit their support. The governor, who has met with traditional rulers, taxi drivers and pensioners, assured them all of the readiness of his administration to continue to provide for their needs. The governor, who spoke in Yoruba, urged them to allow the good works of his administration to continue. The presidency says President Goodluck Jonathan has to lead government officials as well as sportsmen and women on an outdoor physical training exercise today in Abuja. This, it says, is with a view of promoting sports and fitness in Nigeria. The training exercise, which will start at 7 a.m., will include a walkthrough from the presidential villa by President Jonathan, accompanied by top government officials. Presidential spokesman Ruben Abati said in a statement that the program, which will include jogging, physical stretches and light acrobatics, will culminate in a solidarity rally for President Jonathan at the Eagle Square. He added that sports personalities, including Mary Onyali, Justin Eguavon, Kanwankwo, Joseph Yobo, and Chika Chukwumerije, are expected to participate in the physical exercise and solidarity rally. President Goodluck Jonathan has extended his heartfelt commiserations to the Awujale of Ijebuland, Sikiru Adetona, and his people on the death of one of the son's most illustrious sons, Abayo Kuku. President Jonathan has similarly condoled members of the Kuku family, as well as the government and people of Ogun State, on the passage of the renowned Ogbeni Oja of Ijebu-Ode. The president says he shares the family's grief, as well as Mon Kuku, a highly respected businessman and philanthropist who touched many lives positively in Ijebu-Ode, Ogun State, and Nigeria as a whole. He believes that Kuku will be remembered and honored across the country and beyond as a trailblazing entrepreneur and administrator whose career highlights included his exemplary leadership role as president of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. President Jonathan, while praying that Almighty Allah will grant Kuku eternal rest and comfort all those who mourn him. The Nigerian Authority has formally arraigned the alleged mastermind of the Nyanya Bus terminal bombing, Aminu Oguche, and 5 others on an 8-count charge of terrorism. The suspects were docked at the Federal High Court in Abuja, but pleaded not guilty to all the charges. Counsel to Oguche, Ahmed Raji, made an oral application for the transfer of the alleged bombers from the custody of the Department of State Service to Kuje Prison. But prosecution counsel Muhammad Idris objected on the grounds that the suspects would better be protected in DSS custody. In a short ruling, trial judge Justice Hamid Mohammed, relying on Section 27 of Terrorism Prevention Amendment Act 2013, held that the security agency had the power to detain a suspected terrorist. He adjourned the case till March 17th and ordered the accused persons to remain with the DSS.
Our own understanding and our view is that it will be oppressive for an accused person to remain with the investigator when the investigation has been concluded. It will make a better sense and a fairer sense of justice if the accused person is kept with another agency and not necessarily with the investigator. That is just the point. But disappointment, no. His lordship has ruled, and that is it.
The All Progressives Congress presidential campaign organization has called on President Goodluck Jonathan to bring back the missing girls to their parents rather than sending emissaries and making more pledges. Spokesman for the campaign team, Garba Shehu, said in a statement issued in Abuja that the only thing Nigerians have been hearing almost a year after the abduction are failed promises and dashed hopes. According to Shehu, the government began by claiming that some of the girls were rescued before expressing doubt about the situation and later alleging that a ceasefire as well as a hostage release agreement has been reached with Boko Haram. He insisted that no amount of money, disbursement or promises would assuage the pain and extinguish the torment, adding that all the parents require is to have their children back with them. The APC campaign spokesman also regretted the initial 2-week delay, during which he noted that the President, Jonathan, said nothing on the abduction. The Ogun State chapter of the Joint National Public Service Negotiating Council has planned to embark on a 3-day working strike. A warning strike. The said industrial action is to commence from Tuesday, 10th of March, in respect of the deduction of their 4-month salaries, which the council has described as wickedness on behalf of the state government. Olajumoke Olatunji has more in this report.
After a series of letters that were claimed to have been unattended to, the Ogun State chapter of the Joint National Public Service Negotiating Council, which is an association of senior civil servants of Nigeria, has decided to embark on a 3-day warning strike on behalf of the state civil service. Speaking on behalf of the council, the State Secretary Mudiu Bello says after a series of negotiation and dialogue concerning the deduction of their 4-month salaries, which includes October to December 2014 and January 2015 respectively, proved abortive. They considered the strike necessary to drive home their points.
Sequel to the refusal of the state government to accede to the demand of workers in the state public service over the unpaid 4 months deductions made from their salaries October, November, December 2014 and January 2015. The Joint National Public Service Negotiating Council, that is JNC, on behalf of the state public servants, hereby issued a 3-day warning strike effective from 10th Tuesday to 12th Thursday, March 2015, to drive home their demands.
Another case made by the council is the unremitted contributory pension funds, which they say is against the constitution of the labor laws.
In realization of plea made by the government, Labour agreed to defer further negotiation on the issue of outstanding contributory pension fund deductions until after the general election. In view of the foregoing, state public servants are hereby directed to stay away from their duty post from 10th Tuesday, March to 12th Thursday, March 2015.
This strike, they say, is just a preamble to what is expected if nothing positive comes up from the state government. Olajumoke Olatunji, CoreTV News, Abeokuta.
Nigerian Dental Association says good oral health is significant for a healthy society. Oluwaseyi Adegoke, who was at the press briefing organized as part of preparations to mark the 2015 Oral Health Day, found in this report.
This year's World Oral Health Day is tagged Smart for Life, celebrated every year on the 28th of March. The president of the Nigerian Dental Association, Bode Jarobe, says the aim is to provide occasion for global, regional and national activities related to oral health.
Relatively simple and inexpensive measures can help prevent the highlighted disease conditions and thus reduce the high burden of oral diseases, including brushing twice daily with fluoride-containing toothpastes. Reducing the intake of sugary foods and drinks and limiting their consumption to meal times, cutting tobacco use, and reducing alcohol intake with regular visit to the dentist at least once every 6 months, of course that amounts to twice in a year, also help prevent oral diseases.
The president added that awareness to the oral care is better off now than some years back.
Tell you point blank that there's a lot of improvement and we are still going to do a lot more, like I highlighted in my speech. With the formulation of the National Oral Health Policy, it's so designed that once it's well implemented, the average Nigerian will have very good oral health care.
The vice president of the association, Fumi Ashiwaju, says fluoride is very important for good oral health care.
Talk about supplements, that's what I would call it. Fluoride in milk, fluoride in water, fluoride in all those other things. There should be a situation analysis. Now, if the patient lives in an environment, for example, where water is not fluoridated, e.g. Nigeria, and the patient has high risk for dental caries and other dental diseases, then we'll talk about all these other supplements coming in. But if the patient is good to go, then exposure to just the fluoride in toothpaste is enough for that patient.
The organizers urge Nigerians to cultivate the habit of brushing their teeth twice daily to have a good oral health. Oluwaseyi Adegoke, CoreTV News, Lagos.
It's CoreTV News on the hour. We'll take another break. Please do stay with us.
You can now watch CoreTV News live from anywhere in the world on our website, www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to CoreTV Primetime News.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CoreTV, leave a space, then News. CoreTV News, our 24-hour news station.
Welcome back. We continue with the news, but now outside Nigeria. Hong Kong's high degree of autonomy from China has been eroded. An influential committee of British MPs warned Friday, voicing concern about the former colony's direction of travel. In a report on Britain's relations with Hong Kong, the House of Commons Foreign Affairs Committee warned the city would face a crisis of governance unless tensions over how it is ruled are resolved. Last year saw weeks of protest after China announced that candidates to be the city's next leader in the 2017 vote would be vetted by a pro-Beijing committee. Members of Parliament MPs were barred from entering Hong Kong by China in December to research the report as the demonstrations continued, with Chinese officials accusing them of acting as a colonial power. The committee's chairman, Richard Ottawa, said that while it could not force China to change its behavior, it could offer guidance. That's CoreTV News for this hour. Thank you for watching. Please join us again. Don't forget that at 9 o'clock we'll bring you Core Digest Extra. Stay with CoreTV News. Good morning.